All right, you guys, what's going on? I'm watching, basically, I'm going back to the source, basically the root of everything. I'm watching the fight right now as we speak with Albright and Davis, in which he was defeated, and Albright clearly won this fight. I don't know how they had it a majority decision. It should have been a unanimous decision. Probably may have been 7 rounds to 3, 6-4, but he clearly outboxed, Davis in this fight and had him hurt a couple of times. And you can make an argument that for a knockdown, but this is just a total black eye for boxing and black people as a whole. Words cannot describe how disappointed I am in Keyshawn and his brother. They should know better than this. And they embarrassed themselves on ESPN. Probably right on ESPN is like, yeah, this is why we're getting rid of boxing. Just poor sportsmanship from them on behalf of their brother. They headbutted the man. Keyshawn headbutted the man, whether it's accidental or intentional. That's assault. And Keyshawn and his brother is lucky dude ain't pressing charges against him. And from what I've been told, they said that Terrence Crawford and Bomac had to go into the locker room and apologize to that dude. You know, I mean, talk about letting something get the best of you. That wasn't even their loss. It was his brother's loss. His brother can handle a loss better than them. Then, okay, what are you doing? Like, what are we doing? My thing is, I'm gonna say this again. Y'all did this to another black man. Let me ask y'all this. How come y'all didn't have that same energy for Ryan Garcia, who said he hate black people and he wish he could dig up George Floyd's grave and kill? But y'all was forgiving towards Ryan Garcia, but yet you mad at a dude that beat your brother fair and square in the ring. He beat him fair and square. No controversy, no anything. He won flat out, beat your brother fair and square, and your brother can take his loss like a man. Why couldn't y'all take your brother's loss as men? I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Um, who knows what's gonna happen? I wouldn't be surprised if Top Rank drops Keyshawn Davis because here, check this out. Bob Aaron said he lost a lot of money because 2,000 people had to get refunded their money. So depending on what sections they sat in and all that stuff, Top Rank lost money. Bob Aaron lost money. Then Keyshawn Davis stock went down. His brother's stock went down. At the end of the day, we sitting up here going in on Teofimo Lopez, even though Teofimo Lopez is a moron. And I'm gonna say this once again: Why didn't y'all do that to Teofimo Lopez? Who been saying all this stuff about black people? Who done said stuff about Terrence Crawford? His father done said stuff about Terrence Crawford. But then you want to go in the locker room and show y'all ass against another black man from Philadelphia. For what? For what? This is going to be for real. This is going to be a stain on Keyshawn Davis, uh, you know what I'm saying, career for a minute. So this is 3 incidents with him. Okay. And ironically, this is the dude that Keyshawn Davis lost, basically a fight, which was a win. He lost it to basically a no contest because he tested positive for marijuana. So his win turned into a loss, not on his record, but a loss for, basically his image because he tested positive for marijuana. Then he doesn't make weight. He doesn't make weight yesterday. He comes in 4 pounds over the weight limit, loses his belt on the scale. And then this incident happens with his brother, where they go in the locker room and they try to grab a dude. Like, what was this dude thinking? Yeah, I heard they had. Well, that's cool that they had to, because that could have ended up in court. But I don't have. I'm just like scratching my head, like trying to figure out how did something like this happen? Like, is Keyshawn Davis out of his fucking mind? Is him and his brother out of their mind? I'm gonna say this once again. Why didn't they have this type of energy for Ryan Garcia? Why didn't y'all have this energy for Tiafimo Lopez? But you gonna jump another black man who all he did was fight your brother and won fair and square. It was a fair fight. He won fair and square. You that bent out of shape, and it's not like you was fighting him. I don't know what's going through Keyshawn Davis' head, but he need to go lay on that couch. Him and his brother need to lay on his couch, but lay on the couch. This was just embarrassing. I'm embarrassed as a media member. I'm embarrassed as a fan of boxing, and I am embarrassed as a black man. There's no way you could talk around this. But the funny thing is, there's gonna be videos talking about this all night. They're gonna totally in the morning. They're gonna totally dismiss, the stuff with Tiafimo Lopez. Now I guarantee you, niggas like Garfield the cat, that coke sniffing ass nigga gonna have something to say because he don't have the same energy for the non-blacks that he do for the brother. I guarantee you, he gonna have some kind of lecture tutorial. I shouldn't even be talking about this. I don't even like talking about this, but I feel as a media member, I have to do this stuff. I don't even like the idea that I had to push. Oh man, the live button to go live and speak to y'all about this because I'm just totally embarrassed. I mean, for real, the wind is sucked out of me to hear them act like this. They have gave the white supremacists all the ammo they needed because they gonna say the same thing too. And I know Keyshawn gonna eventually go live, and I want everybody to ask Keyshawn, how come you didn't do this to Tiafimo Lopez? Why didn't you and your brothers try to jump him? Y'all went in that man's locker room. And shout out to Terrence Crawford and Bomac for displaying class and going to apologize to the man. If I'm Bomac, I would consider dropping, and I'm serious. If I'm Bomac, I would consider dropping Keyshawn as being his trainer. Yeah, Crawford, from what I was told, Crawford and Bomac went into the man's locker room and they apologized to him and they owe him an apology. And I'm gonna have to holler at my man. I'm gonna talk to my man from Philly, YSM. Y'all go subscribe to his channel. It's a little late because it's late out there. So, it's like midnight out there. I'm gonna talk to my guy because he got somebody out there anyway, because he from Philly and all right is from Philly. But I'm gonna talk to him behind the scenes to see what's up and talk to some of my Philly people. But that's just an embarrassing moment. Well, you trying to find a way to make a bright side of this. That's probably what sometimes when somebody do something so embarrassing to you, you have no other choice but to laugh. Like when a dude or a woman that are affiliated with do something so stupid to where you can't do nothing but laugh. This is one of these moments where it's so embarrassing you can't do nothing but laugh if you Terrence Crawford and Bomac, because you really thinking like, what the fuck is wrong with this dude? I'm gonna say this again. Keyshawn, lucky that dude ain't pressing charges because he can press charges against him. And I wouldn't care. I don't want to hear nothing about that. Oh man, that's snitching. That's not, get out of here, man. Nobody don't want to hear that stuff. We got to start holding these brothers accountable. But see, I just want to say this to all my brothers out there and all my sisters out there that may come across this video. This is why you don't keep men away from their children. This is why you let men, the fathers, be active in their life, unless they in prison or unless they just, to the point to where they just, the kids are not safe being around it. I'm going to say this again. This ain't no disrespect to my sister, but I'm going to have to tell y'all the truth. This is the reason. You can't be no man. You can't teach no man manhood because you ain't no fucking man. That's because Abdullah Mason's dad is around. He got 4 brothers. His dad is active in his life. This is what I'm saying. This ain't an attack on black women. This is truth. This is the unadulterated truth. Stop thinking that you are better man than man. You are not a man. Keyshawn said out of his own mouth he didn't have a father. Now I don't want to dive deep into that. I don't want to dive deep in that, but I'm saying as an example. This is why, as a father, even though they try to make it look like fathers are not needed, especially in our community, we're needed. This is the proof that you need right here. I would have never let my son do no stuff like that. If my son would have embarrassed me like that, they would have been a fight. Me and him would have been fighting. I mean, unprofessional, just trashy and classless. I'm probably gonna go cover the fight next month in New York. If they there, I'm gonna just ask them. If they get mad at me, I'm gonna ask them, how come y'all didn't do this to Ryan Garcia? When he said he wanted to kill black people, when he made flat out terrorist threats. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. I had my stepfather, when my dad wasn't around for, an X amount of years. And then my father came back until he passed away. Then I had uncles. And then I had my older brother. So I had male figures in my life. But this is what happens when society tells women in our community that, that they're the leaders of our household and that they are better men. This is complete cap. And they only do this to us. And this is the end results. This is the reason why these black men be having all this vitriol and hatred towards other black men. But then all of a sudden they show grace they want to show grace for these non-blacks when they do something to them. But then if it's a dude that look like them, then all of a sudden they want to do everything, including up to trying to take their life. It starts at the house. When you tell a kid, when you sit up there and you always bashing men to a young man, well, that's gonna influence him. When you sit up there saying your daddy wasn't shit, or that type of stuff, well, then here's the thing: when women say that your daddy wasn't shit, well, you had a baby bomb. You let them, have unprotected sex. You let them skeet up in you. So what does that say about you? So I guess you ain't shit neither. It's a wrap for Keyshawn. Keyshawn ain't gonna get a chance to fight in Norfolk again. Keyshawn need to be worried about if he gonna get dropped. Because like I said, if I'm Bomac, if I'm not gonna get in Bomac's business, I ain't gonna call Bernie the Boxer, none of them dudes. because I got all their numbers. I got all their numbers. But if I'm Bomac, I'm seriously considering dropping Keyshawn Davis. You're not finna embarrass me. You're not finna embarrass my, you're not finna embarrass my brand. You're not finna embarrass my reputation. Like I said, all them people. I even didn't talk to Coach Sal before, the other dude. I'm one of the very few people that they got an interview with Coach Sal. And he don't do interviews with nobody usually. Him and Coach Red, they don't do interviews with nobody hardly. I'm about Coach Red and Coach Sal. They don't even do interviews. Coach Sal don't even be doing interviews with other Hispanics. I didn't seen him tell him no. But he gave me an interview. Same thing with Coach Red. So that's what I'm saying. Keyshawn owe all them dudes an apology. His whole team. And the man lost $1 million. So I'm serious. This ain't about the streets. This ain't about none of that stuff. But if I'm top rank, I'm considering like just cutting him. Cost us money. You embarrassed the promotional company. You embarrassed yourself. You embarrassed your family. You embarrassed your city. Like I said before, Albright, he could sue everybody involved. He could file he could sue Keyshawn Davis. He could sue Top Rank. He could press charges. He could press charges against Keyshawn and his brother. They headbutted him, and he had a lump on his head. So there was some type of physicality. So for people sitting up there saying, "Oh man, well they didn't jump him," listen, they made contact with him. That's all it takes. He got a knot on his head that he didn't have. I just would like to know what was going through it. Like, what would make you do something like that? Like, dude, what was going through your head? Oh, I got it, you guys. Hey, Keon, he beat our brother. Let's go in the locker room and confront him for beating our brother fair and square. Do you know how absurd that sounds? Yeah, he was. He was, G. I've been watching boxing for over 40. I've never seen this type of this behavior in my life. And I'll still keep asking this question. I would have respected them if they would have tried to do this to somebody like Ryan Garcia, but you sitting up taking pictures with Ryan Garcia. You taking pictures with Ryan Garcia. You sitting up here. You ain't going in on Tio like you should. You should have tried to jump him. You didn't ran into Tio so many times. Why did you try to jump him? For saying all that racist stuff about black people, but you jump a brother, another black man for what? You tried to attack another black man. He want to fight square, 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 fair square. It's not like the dude tested positive for PEDs. I'm pretty sure he's gonna pass his drug test, but still. This just remind me, and Tania know because she from the town like me. Every once in a while, there'll be these basketball games. Some of them will take place at the park in Alameda. Some will take place in Mosswood Park. What's the other well-known park that people used to hoop at? I wouldn't exactly say San Antonio Park. That's in my neck of the woods, the Doves. But a lot of people used to hoop at Mosswood Park. That's in between North and West Oakland. It's more north than west, but Mosswood Park, that's where they used to have a lot of tournaments at. Then they used to have a lot of games in Alameda at the park over there by the beach. But every once in a while, and then there'd be some games some high profile basketball games at the 24-hour fitness and San Leandro over there by where Bayfair Mall is. Well, it ain't. I don't. Well, it ain't even really Bayfair Mall anymore because they pretty much closed the whole inside of the mall. They pretty much closed that whole inside. Ain't even no mall no more. But nevertheless, every once in a while, you will see a dude who be playing hoop, and he might be losing. He might be having a bad game, and you would just all of a sudden he would just spaz out, be wanting to fight. See that one? It'll be that one dude that just mess it up. I done been to them type of basketball games. That's why I don't even play basketball no more. I don't play no actual hoop games. I do my shoot arounds, but I don't play no because it's always that one dude reason he just want to just set it off, and it usually be against nothing but black people. You be on your best behavior when you around non-blacks. Like I said, you want to have mercy, empathy, sympathy for them. They step on your shoes. Hey, or hey, it's no problem, buddy. It's no problem. Hey, it's cool, man. Don't even worry. Black person step on you. Hey, nigga, why you step on my shoes? Nigga, why you step on my Jordans? So it's like, damn. You know? So I done seen this kind of stuff where somebody just having a bad game, they getting whooped on, and all of a sudden they just ready to fight. For what? It's just a damn game. It's just a game. You win some, you lose some, man. I'm not fighting nobody over no basketball. You know? I haven't ever in my life wanted to fight somebody or take somebody's life over a meaningless basketball game. Or just playing in some kind of sports activity. So now you trying to fight. I mean, make that make sense. You did this in your own hometown. If I'm, man, I sure would like to understand how the people in VA, especially Norfolk, feeling. You had all them people that was interested in coming to watch you fight. Michael Vick, you had Allen Iverson, you had the Clips, you had a whole bunch of, Virginia natives or people that had ties to Virginia, and you let them all down because you couldn't control yourself. I'm not even really think Keyshawn and his brother need to go lay on that couch. They may need therapy. When I say and when I try to tell you guys, I'm very sad. It was very sad to hear about this because Keyshawn is old enough to be, he's old enough, young enough to be my son. Both of them dudes. I'm 50 years old. So Keyshawn is definitely young. Young enough to be my son, him and his brother. I mean, the niggatry that they displayed tonight, the niggatry that they then displayed this past week, Keyshawn in particularly, not making weight, not caring. Then he goes to the actual fight. He's sitting up there eating junk food and stuff. I'm like, dude, what are you trying to prove? So what do you think this is going to do, Keyshawn? Is you trying to call yourself trying to create a bad boy persona? That ain't how you go about doing it, because you know why? That's the wrong way. Because guess what? Ain't nobody going to pay to see you fight. Especially when you can't make weight and when you can't make... No, the idea of creating a bad boy persona is to actually make weight and actually go in there and fight. Not make weight. Lose $1 million person, lose your belt. So you got it all wrong, dude. I'm gonna say something say something, Joseph Fuller, that pissed me. I'm tired of people, especially black people, talking that, oh, I got to be the bad guy. I got to, why? We already portrayed as the bad guys, but we know who the real bad guys are. You know, the people with the pale skin, you know, the melanless people. Those are the real bad guys. But for some reason, I'm serious. Why do you got to create this type of persona to get people to pay to see you fight? And see, that's another bad example Floyd set for boxers. You know, by him going beyond the call of duty to protect his 50-0 record, and then this, oh man, well, I got to be the bad guy. I ain't finna be nobody's bad guy, especially, you know, especially for the real bad guys, you know. I don't play them type of games. That make me sick to my stomach when I be hearing these dudes talking that stuff. Oh man, well, you know, I gotta be the bad guy. I have to create, I'll be the bad guy. Well, you know, look what did happen to Angel Reese saying that stuff. I'm talking about I'm talking about Angel Reese had a game today. She came in, she looked nice. Had on all black, had on her heels. Look at, you know, she looked nice. And people just started just going in on her. I'm like, it's just to the point. Listen, I understand if you criticize somebody. I understand if you critique somebody. Okay, cool. But when you just find something wrong just to say something about somebody, then that's where the racial stuff come in. That's when, you know, this is a race thing. You know, having helped her case sometimes, saying some of this stuff she's allegedly then said. But I'm just saying, we got to get out of that stuff. We got to get out of this stuff. Said that, oh, I'll be the bad guy. I ain't being nobody's bad guy. The hell with that. Well, she a fake feminist because she don't know what she want to do. But the funny thing is, she tried to sneak this black man, but then she dates black men. And the very people that always attacking her look, you know what I'm saying? Um, they have pale skin. So, you know, I'm just saying. I'm just, you know, I'm just saying. I'm just keeping it a buck. I'm just keeping it a buck. So, but that's the point I'm making. My point is, don't make yourself the self-proclaimed bad guys. You know, don't claim bad person. Nah, let the real bad people, you know, show themselves and display themselves for being who they really are. Do not take that persona. Like I said, that's one of the biggest mistakes Floyd made in boxing, and hurt himself and hurt other black people that followed after him, to where you have to display you know, buffoonery and stuff, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Nah, we don't have to do that. And then the thing is, where you have Floyd Mayweather, who felt like he had to be the guy wearing the black hat, even though really the people, like I say, the real people, the real evil people are the people that wear white hats and have the same colored skin. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said it. Sure did. So this is the stain that Floyd left behind in boxing. And then, you know, when Floyd left, you know, Andre Ward left shortly. So it was just like, okay, that was it. You know, we really didn't have we really didn't have a guy who wanted to display, you know, just pure boxing ability, and did his talking in the ring. And then when Terrence Crawford attempted to be that guy, you had a lot of these people attacking Terrence Crawford, assassinating his character. And they happen to be black just like him. All because he wasn't with the PBC, who the PBC got like almost out of business. But that's black people for you. That's black people for you. See, I didn't. Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. They was calling Terrence Crawford top ranked Toby. They was calling all kind of crazy names. Oh man, and you had everybody doing all this promotional banging and this network banging, which I didn't want to do. I didn't want to be parts of that. I felt it was stupid, and I felt it didn't make no kind of sense. I don't know what's going on through Keyshawn's head, but obviously he might be losing his fucking mind. I think he too early in his career to have man. He need to go lay on that couch. Whatever he got going on, it's real personal, and he might be a danger to himself and his brothers. Well, you know, Bud really don't got no wife. He made that very clear. He tweeted that today. That's his. That's the mother of his children. So you know, he made that very clear. See, I haven't seen the footage. I mean, you can attach the footage in one of the thumbnails, and I'll look at it later. But I'm going by what I was told. And you know, I got a couple of people there that was covering the fight, so I'm gonna have all the information. I'm gonna have all the information by, if not the end of the night, by the morning. What happened? The footage is gonna make it on social media. It's probably on Instagram right now. Sometimes it gets to Instagram. Sometimes it gets to Instagram before it gets to YouTube, or vice versa. But it's the footage will show up eventually. Somebody has some footage. Somebody will send it to me eventually. Either they'll send it to me via Instagram, or they'll send it to me, or they'll link it in one of my videos. Oh, oh, I'll find it. I don't have no X account, but you still can look it up on X. I hope it ain't even worse than what I think it is, but all we know so far is that Albright got a knot on his head. So it came from some kind of contact. Well, people there are some people saying that they should have charges pressed against them. I don't know, man. I'm one of the dudes I always did like the idea of seeing black men being rolled up and arrested, but damn, who knows? Maybe that's what they need. This may be what they need, because at the end of the day, these dudes need to quit trying to act like they from the streets and they want street cred and all that kind of shit. If that's what they aiming for, street cred ain't all that. It ain't all that. Trust me. I can speak from close hand experience. It ain't all that. You know, there ain't one person that became a billionaire from street cred. Well, well, I mean, but then again, he do a lot of different things. He invests his money. So I'm talking, Snoop is the exception. But Snoop don't be in the streets like that. That man make too much money. That man made too much money. But that's what I'm saying though. He don't even be in the streets like that. You know? So I'm just saying, you get nothing out of that. For real. You have to turn that into something. Snoop turned all that stuff into something. He turned it into $100 million plus entity. It's anybody's guess how much Snoop is really worth. Some people say Snoop almost a billionaire. I mean, the man got his hand in everything: clothes, food. I mean, music, everything. But that's what I'm saying. It's not really no future in that. Yeah, a lot of people been a lot of people was asking that question. When Keyshawn go live, a lot of people gonna say, "Hey, man, why didn't y'all jump Ryan Garcia? Why y'all jumped on another black man?" They ain't gonna answer that question. Just like Gary Anton Russell didn't want to answer Bill's question when Bill said, "Why you tap dancing?" All he could do is just laugh and stuff. Like I said before. All right, you guys. Sorry about that. All right, you guys. So I'm back. You know, so I saw the footage. Well, it looked like somebody was throwing punches to me, like somebody was swinging. This is not a good look. It's not a good look. So I just saw the footage and just this is just not a good look. Um, wow. It was some melee there. If I'm Keyshawn, I would get on social media. I would post something right away. He need to apologize to everybody. He need to apologize to the fans. He need to apologize to Albright and his team. He need to apologize to his own team. He need to apologize to Top Rank. He need to apologize. And don't sit up here trying to be hard and everything. Don't sit up here trying to be tough. At the end of the day, you did something foolish. You did something stupid, and you need to get ripped to shreds for it. I wouldn't be surprised if Bob Arum just arranged to just cut Keyshawn. I mean, they cut Berlanga, you know, because at the end of the day, when you sit up there and show that kind of display of unprofessionalism, I'm just like, you gotta be kidding me. I mean, that's just real talk. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, man. Well, what are bro, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing, man? Like what? Like for real? Like, dude, what's going on through? Oh, well, see, I'm on YouTube right now. I'm on YouTube right now. It's starting to show up. I told you the footage should be up shortly. So I'm just like, when I tell you guys, I'm just like, I'm just shocked. I'm shocked. I'm bothered by this. And at the end of the day, as black people, we got to hold them accountable. You have a son, and that's the thing, dude. You was sitting up here just a few months ago talking about, I'm a father now. Everything I do reflect my son and for my son. Well, dude, you hurt your son tonight. You took food out of your son's mouth. You took clothes away from your son. You took, like, for real. You took income. You lost $1 million, dude. $1 million. Let that sink in, dude. You lost $1 million guaranteed payday. It you just So I'm just saying. And from this point on, tell Keyshawn if he call himself trying to talk crazy to us, your reply should be like, "Hey man, You should have had the same energy for Ryan. Don't talk crazy to us. That's all I'm saying. Don't talk crazy to us. Talk crazy, like for real. This is the anger you should have showed towards Ryan Garcia and Teofimo Lopez. At least Bud confronted Teofimo Lopez about that stuff, even though Teofimo walked it back. Oh, I was just trying to promote the fight. Like, man, dude, you would go fight Bud. Your scary ass. You got every excuse in the book, man. This dude, like I said before, this dude got every reason not to fight nobody. Oh man, they're gonna rob me. Oh, they're Muslims. Oh, like bro, shut up. It's like shut your ass up, dude. We don't believe you. We don't believe you, man. We're not buying what you're selling. You're done. You're cooked. But anyway, you guys, let me do some research. I'll have some videos up later on. Stay tuned.